Yo, I move in tranquility, also virility, keep it 100, and I move with fertility, giving birth to all the truth, and the seas is planet, trying to be one of the dopest kings that received this planet, taking dominion, and I ain't got time. Yo, I move in tranquility, also virility, keep it 100, and I move with fertility, giving birth to all the truth, and the seas is planet, trying to be one of the dopest kings that received this planet, taking dominion, and I ain't got time for no minions. I just want to make this money, stack my bread up with millions, do this for my children, and do it all for my legacy. Let me see, wisdom, knowledge, long life, and longevity. I'm a king. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. Yo, what up, man? Y'all know what it is, man. This is another episode. Y'all know what it is. Virility Kings podcast, man. We definitely gonna dig deep on this topic. This is one of those good topics. I think we got an echo going. You hear that, Tony?
I do not.
You got headphones on?
I do not.
Okay, that might be what it is. I think we're getting, because I'm definitely hearing an echo. But you don't hear no echo?
No, sir.
What the hell? Okay. So I'm definitely hearing an echo. Let me see what's going on real quick. Oh, I see what's going on. All right. Man, I can hear it clear as day right now. Yo. Hey, y'all. Just for 1 second, we're having some slight audio difficulty, but I'm about to fix it right now. So you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to take the headphones off. Well, no, I got to hear what you're saying as well. Yo, this is crazy. And you said you don't hear an echo at all?
No, sir. No echo. Everything's good on my end.
All right, y'all. Look, bear with us, man. Look, we still gonna dig deep on this episode. Don't let this throw y'all off. We're just having some slight audio. Well, I'm having some slight audio issues. So let me see if I can fix this real quick. Yo, this is crazy. Yeah, it's like definitely feeding back in my headphones. Say something, Tony. Can you hear me?
Hello, America.
Dang. So the funny thing is like I can hear you, but it's replaying me like after what I said, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any echo coming from you at all.
Okay. Yo, this is crazy. All right, you know what? Let me see. There got to be a way around this right quick. Let me see.
Do we got anybody in the audience right now who could probably sound check you, tell you what they feel?
Yeah. Yo, anybody that's watching right now, do me a favor and let me know what you hear in the chat. Like, do you hear echo? Oh, I know. Yo, yo, man, that's 100% my fault right there, yo. Yo, so y'all ain't gonna believe what I was doing, man. So this is what happened. So pretty much what I had in the background was the video, our actual podcast on another tab. So literally, I was hearing us live on it. Yo, that's crazy. All right, well, look, it's all good. We back on point. Look, I ain't perfect, man. We ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? This Virility Kings podcast, we real men. We authentic. This is live. It ain't nothing fake here. And you getting the authentic and the real. You know what I'm saying? I made a mistake, but we about to get into business. Listen, y'all see the title. The title of this podcast is Don't Be a Fuckboy. Don't be a fuck boy. Now, here's a funny thing about being or the topic and the term fuck boy. I know there's plenty of definitions to this term. I know women got a term about fuckboy. I know men got a term about fuckboy. I know men in the hood, we, got a specific term about what a fuckboy is. But we're going to dig deep, man. And listen, if y'all got your own definition about what a fuckboy is, I want y'all to comment in the chat as well and say what y'all think a fuckboy is, right? But for us to really start this thing off, for us to really start this thing off, we're gonna let y'all know what we think a fuckboy is, all right? So what's up, Tony?
I have no idea what a fuckboy is. The first time I heard it was when I was a CEO. An inmate told me what that term, he called another inmate that because it was bickering. Said, man, you know about a fuckboy. I look at him like, what is a fuckboy? And the second time I was actually called that by a damn female. So I want to know what a fuckboy is. I'm interested in this.
Man, so this is powerful. So Tony has been called a fuckboy multiple times. And he probably was thinking like, yo, what the hell is a fuckboy? They calling me fuckboy, this, that, and the third. Bro. All right. Well, I'll do the honors in starting it off and saying what my definition is of a fuckboy and what I think a fuckboy is, right? So, originally, as I was coming up as a young teenage, Kevin, aka Black Superman, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in the hood. I grew up around, impoverished areas, hood, pretty much the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? And around where I lived at, pretty much a fuckboy was pretty much just a dude that was just a punk, you know what I'm saying? Or like a guy that people ain't really like that. A dude that's doing the most, you know what I'm saying? A dude that's just wilding out, you know what I'm saying? And doing a lot of shit that people just don't like. The majority don't like it, you know what I'm saying? So, okay. Man, you a fuckboy, you know what I'm saying? That's one term. That's usually the derogatory term of fuckboy that people usually say when they feel that way. They like, yo, you a fuckboy. Like, get out of here. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like how you move. I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now, from what I've seen and what I've heard from a lot of different women view a fuckboy as a man who literally just wants to get as many women as they can and fuck them. That's literally a fuckboy. Like, from women, and I mean even men. Like, honestly, that's how I view it. I think that's what a fuckboy is too. A dude that's trying to fuck as many women as he can. Like, that's literally his goal. He trying to get his body count up. He like, yo, I'm all right, man. I don't know. I didn't have sex with 75. I'm trying to get to 100. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get to 300 women. Like, wow. That, that's really like the modern term of fuckboy. It's literally a guy who literally out here just slaying chicks and really getting something out of fucking as many women as they possibly can. Right? Okay. And that's that's pretty much like the modernized term of fuckboy. Pretty much the dude that's lying to a lot of these chicks so that he can smash. You know what I'm saying? Lying to a lot of these chicks so that he can get whatever he want to get out of them. Smashing one joint, got like 7 other joints that he's smashing on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fuckboy.
Isn't that called a player?
So yes, pretty much a fuckboy. Well, fuckboy is pretty much like a synonym of a player. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So a fuckboy is kind of like a synonym. The only difference though, players usually, how could I say it? The fuckboy is literally just trying to fuck as many women as they can, and that's it. Like, that's the main thing. Players, on the other hand, are usually focusing on, really getting into a woman's heart to get all the beneficial shit that they can get out of the situation, whether they need somewhere to live. They got one chick that they use for this. They got another chick that they use for that. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking with these women's heads, just playing with these bitches, man. Like, I'm talking about just literally just playing with their hearts and like using them to get whatever the fuck they want. You know what I'm saying? And they still doing their thing on the side. Like, that's how I view a player. I view a player like an individual who's very, very strategic on trying to fuck a chick and her friend at the same time without them even knowing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on some player shit. Like, like, this shit is like a skill. You know what I'm saying? These dudes got this shit mastered. I don't know how they be doing this shit. But yeah. So, that's pretty much my definition. And from what I seem to hear from a lot of people, that's what a fuckboy is, right?
Okay.
So pretty much, since you say you ain't really know, but you were very excited for us to get on here so you could hear the definition. What do you think about that? What do you think about the definition?
The female term about basically just saying a dude just smashing through a bunch of females, it seems pretty direct, especially when I was called a fuckboy. I was called a fuckboy by a female I refer to as the gold digger. We'll save some more stories about her later. But basically, she tried to play the whole relationship route with me. I'm like, yeah, I'm over here thinking, yeah, you want me to be, come save you from your financial bullshit, Miss Hooters girl. I get it. But but she threw the relationship card at me, and I was like, we're not going to be in a relationship. If we decide to smash and whatever, that's cool. But I'm not going to stop you from pursuing your love. I'm trying to play it real low key. And then she was looking at me like all surprised. Yeah, because you actually heard someone who's supposed to be a sucker not falling for it. And then it's like, oh, you're nothing but a fuckboy. All smiling. Like, what the hell is a fuckboy? So now hearing the definition, I see now where she was coming from. Like, oh. But then all of a sudden, the conversation between me and her, it went from a relationship tone to a more straight up sexual tone.
Oh shit! So she actually was kind of intrigued a little by that shit, or did you, or you took it to the sexual place?
No, I said if we're going to just smash, it's not going to be on a relationship terms. It's going to be because we're smashing. But if you find your actual love or whatever, blah, then that's on you. We'll call it quits. That's when I told her straight up like that. I know a lot of dudes don't want to do that because that ruins their opportunity to smash, but I don't care. And so it fits now what she was saying. Okay, I get it now.
So it makes total sense to you. So do you think you was moving in fuckboy energy pretty much like in that moment, or do you think she misunderstood you when she gave you that term?
I believe so. When women read me, they read me as the sucker. They read me as the sucker because of my polite, professional demeanor. And so they think in relationship, basically security, I'm the safe choice. But then when I hit you with either a straight up no, or I'm telling you exactly what I expect, all of a sudden you got to change your tactics. That's why she went more sexual, because she thought I was a fuckboy.
Got you. So she ended up fucking herself up in the game by assuming that you was something that you wasn't, and literally pretty much informed you of what the hell she was on anyway.
Yes, I was picking up all the red flags. I see what you're seeing me this way, but now that I said this, now you're trying to switch up your tactics. I see you.
You see that shit from a mile away, boy. I'm telling you, like, red flags, man, it's a red flag for a reason. Red catches your fucking attention as soon as it happens. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's powerful, bro. So, now that I pretty much got my definition out and we kind of both on the same page with it, here's the next thing we're going to move into, right? Why shouldn't a man be a fuckboy? Why shouldn't a man move in this type of energy where he trying to fuck as many women as he possibly can? Or even being the other so-called definition of a fuckboy where, everybody just don't fuck with you because you just be doing wild shit. Like, you that dude that everybody like, yo, get the fuck out of here. You messing up the rotation. You getting stupid drunk and acting crazy. You making it hot. You whatever the case. Here's the next direction of it. Why should a man not be that definition of the term fuckboy? What you think about that, Tony?
On that one, just the dude messing up things, that fits the inmate scenario because he was bickering with that other inmate. He called him an old fuckboy, and okay, it fits because apparently he was one of the, I guess, the lower tier inmates just being acting a fool for the group. Okay, and the reason it's not so much as go along to get along, as much as in knowing your place within your group. So like I told the story about that false alpha who just comes in, wants to be all loud and shit. In this definition, he would fit the fuckboy. He's just there to make a scene and fuck up the rotation of the grouping or the situation we're currently in. Just fucking up the thing. Yeah. Don't care about showing lack of respect and just trying to make himself top dog for whatever reason, all bullshit in his head. Yeah, I would agree to not be a fuckboy on those terms. Be humble enough to know where you are and let relationships, when I'm talking about just men and women relationships, just how you co-inspire with people, let that happen organically. Some people you're going to vibe with. That's what the cool kids say. Some people you're going to vibe with. Some people you're not. It is what it is.
Yeah, I totally agree on that, Tony. That's a super fact, man. I agree with that point. Like, yeah, you don't want to be the dude that's throwing things off. You don't want to be the guy that's throwing off the rotation. Or, if you want to be that individual that's different, it's fine. Blend in though and be your own individual self. Make your way into the situation and move strategically, because you're gonna fuck yourself up in the game being the fuckboy and moving in that type of energy. If you can't connect with nobody, how you gonna be able to do what you need to do or what you want to do? So yeah, I totally agree on that, man. We got somebody in the chat, Reginald Roberts. He said, "D, discipline is a necessity." That's a fact. That's a super fact. And I'm gonna tell you right now, fuckboys, they probably really don't have any discipline for the most part, or that's probably a struggle for them to really practice discipline. So yeah, that's definitely a necessity for me. So this is what I think. This is why I think a man shouldn't be a fuckboy. I can go all day for this, so I'm gonna try my best to condense this as well as I can, right? So, guys, especially my younger guys, there's one reason why you don't want to be a fuckboy. Get rid of this mindset of feeling like, yo, I need to try to fuck as many women as I can, because what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna end up fucking yourself in the process. You understand? You gotta understand that in all people, men and women, there's a small percentage of everybody that's crazy as fuck. All right? I want you to remember that. I want all my men that's listening, especially my younger guys, because the fuckboy tendencies is understandable between, I'd say, about 16 to about 24. You know what I'm saying? It's very understandable. And I understand it. It's immaturity. It's normal. We're going to talk about it more later in this episode in terms of fuckboy past, because I definitely had one. We both going to dig deep on that. But my point is you don't want to be trying to fuck as many women, man, because you just might fuck the right one that's going to really catch your attention and fuck you up in the game. And you're going to end up messing up yourself in the process, all right? Another reason why you don't want to be a fuckboy is because you putting all this energy and focus into trying to smash as many women as you can, when you could be putting a lot of energy into building that business you want to start, into building yourself up and growing in knowledge and understanding and wisdom, and preparing yourself for those years when you're really going to need to settle down, or when you're really going to need to build your kingdom. You need to be focusing on building your kingdom right now, young kings that's listening. And even my older kings, because a lot of us, man, like, and I'm going to talk about this later in this episode, like, I got a crazy past. I'm still trying to repair and recover right now from all the shit. But we'll get into that later. But this is why you don't want to be a fuckboy. You listening to you listening to a recovered fuckboy. I'm a recovered fuckboy. You know what I'm saying? I was an addict, So you listening to somebody who know what they're talking about and have been there, right? You don't want to be a fuckboy, because you're going to end up wasting a lot of time on trying to chase cat and fucking all these bitches, right? But you're not taking your life and your status to a higher place. You understand? And all that's going to do in the end is it's going to slow you down. It's going to mess up your potential and what you could have been. And a lot more things come with that. A lot of issues come with that. A lot of pain come with that. And then, like I said before, you're going to mess around and you're going to run into some crazy women. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a real powerful gem real quick. So when you're in that mode and when you're moving in that energy, where you like, yo, I just want sex. I just want to fulfill this desire of sexual need, right? That is an energy that you're moving in. Desire is also a level of vibration that's actually low, believe it or not. Because when you're desiring something, that means you lack, all right? When you move in that negative vibration, you are going to attract women who are also moving in low vibration, or probably even a lower vibration than that. With that being said, that means you're going to be getting with a lot of women who are not really good quality and could potentially be very crazy or got some bad, serious issues. And the more of everything that I'm saying right now is, you don't want to be moving and trying to smash all these women, and you end up getting with crazy women that's going to flatten all your tires, bust all your windows out, and stalk you for 2-3 years and be fucking with you. And you don't even know what the hell is going on. You don't even know who fucking with you. And it's that same bitch that you fucked 5 years ago, and she found out that you was smashing another joint. So this is why you don't want to be a fuckboy, man. That shit can come back and bite you in the ass later. All right? That's the biggest reason and biggest point, for sure. So, guys, keep that in mind, man. You don't want to be a fuckboy.
On that note, on the
Yeah.
sexual drive of being a fuckboy, I'm
Mhm.
going to go ahead and jab men, and I believe it's something that a lot of men still to this day do not want to acknowledge about being sexual. Um, yes, it is a jab. That whole sexual thing, trying to think that you're banging all these women, it can be a reflection of your own insecurity.
Facts.
And the reason I say this is because, like you said, with the desire point, and like I said, the men who try to prove that they are manly usually end up fucking themselves up in the long term. I know it's our nature to want to bang, but moving in that energy and having being dead ass focused on that mindset is a reflection of your own insecurity. You are lacking something, and you're trying to use the idea of just banging a bunch of women compensate for that.
Preach.
And I know it's a very unpopular way, and a lot of men don't want to acknowledge it because we want to smash. I get it. But honestly, being so laser focused and Neanderthal thinking that way, look how many men fuck themselves up in the long term for that. We got some dudes who are single fathers on child support and all that bunch of mess because they were thinking with their dick too damn much.
Right here.
And
Yep.
and it's a good thing that you hear from men who've been down that path and recovered fuckboys to try to guide you try to recover you to not make that mistake, and it's sad. It's hard because yes, we want to smash, but there is a lot of consequences you have to consider. Don't think with your little head. You got to think with your big head and think about your future more. And also, if you're going to have a more masculine energy about smashing women, shouldn't you? I recommend playing defensive. I'm hardcore defensive when it comes to women. I let them make the move. A lot of them don't want to make the move too much because they just do the little lead in, and I'm supposed to come at you. I'm like, nah, I want to play hardcore defensive, and
Hey, I feel you that.
I'll take the L of being that dopey guy. Oh, I don't know what she means. Oh, I'll take all those L's. But until you show up at my front door in a French maid outfit, no panties on, ready to cook and clean, oh, now I get it.
Exactly. Women love to do that shit too, man. They love to do like little signals, because it's a subconscious thing that women have been doing for years, but they like to do little shit like, wear the little booty shorts with a little bit of the ass hanging out, but just act normal like ain't nothing different. You know what I'm saying? They like to kind of do little signs and little indirect shit. I guess that's a very feminine thing because, we're masculine. Men are masculine, so we're more like kind of like, yo, this is what I want. That's what I'm trying to do. So I guess in that sense it does make sense, but it just trips me out how women do that shit. Like they just do these little things and hope that you fucking read their mind and understand exactly what they want. It's like, bitch, you got to tell me what the fuck you want if you want me to give you what you want, But back
it's called the illusion of innocence.
Powerful. But back on the point of what we're saying, like, yeah, guys, it is such a fucked up thing and a sad thing, and I'm actually somebody who's dealing with that now. I've had children with two different women. You know what I'm saying? I've been there and done that. I'm dealing with some of the aftermath of bad decisions in my younger years and younger days. That's why I'm saying, guys, don't be a fuckboy because that fuckboy mentality literally leads you into the direction of having a dysfunctional life as a man. You understand? It does not prepare you for what's to come. I know, like, this is kind of sounding like it's directed to a lot of the younger guys, right? But nah, we got older fuckboys too, man. I know guys. I know a couple guys who are in their 30s who's still on that fuckboy shit. You understand? Who's still moving like that? Who's still, just trying to run through as many women as they can. Think that it makes them a king and a powerful king. It don't make you a powerful king, man.
What you mean? I get pussy. So?
What the fuck is you saying? Why are you acting like pussy is this rare commodity that's like a rare gem that's never been discovered before? I mean, you know how much pussy is in this fucking world? It's so much ass. It's a lot of ass when women just be throwing it at you sometime. You know what I'm saying? And I know all men probably can't say that they have that luxury. I understand. I'm not hating. And I'm not trying to sit here and say like, every time I see a woman, she's like, oh my God, oh, I need you. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like, yo, all you got to do is just clean yourself up and move with confidence, man. I'm telling you, women will throw it at you. even if you would consider yourself as not being, a very attractive man, yo, move with confidence, get clean, dress up nice, smell good, put on some dope shoes. I'm telling you, chicks will be looking at you in some type of way, shape, or fashion. So it's not hard to get pussy. So, and that's the thing. That's the thing. It's not hard. Like, in all actuality, it also, and I like what Tony, I like what you were saying when you were saying like it really reveals insecurities, because it do. You got to think about it. Why do you feel like you need to have sex with that many women? Why do you feel like why is that the accomplishment? Why is that the end goal? Why is it like, yo, if I hit this amount of women, I'm this? It's like, yo, you're putting your value as a man into the amount of pussies that you smash.
Mm-hmm.
That right there reveals your substance. It reveals that you don't really have any substance as a man.
And that also tells you that you're relying on the idea of smashing to give yourself some kind of validation. You ain't a man. You're telling yourself this by your own logic. Yep. You are not a man unless you're smashing. Like, why would you defeat yourself? Why would you defeat yourself like that? Why would you limit your masculinity to this one factor?
Bingo. I had to figure that shit out. And that's another thing I want to put out there to y'all too. It's actually the men, and some guys may disagree with me, right? And I got a comment, Reginald. I see your comment. I'm going to hit your comment, but I want to make this point. Some guys may disagree with me, right? But in my own theory, I think that the guys, even the younger guys, the teenagers, the older guys, the guys that wasn't going crazy over a lot of women, wasn't trying to chase every woman, wasn't trying to smash every woman, was actually moving in more masculinity than the guys who was going crazy trying to smash every chick. And here's my logic. Here's my point, and here's my logic. Because those young men pretty much was moving in more of a stoic energy. And stoicism pretty much is very leveled and very balanced. You get around these guys that get all jittery, like, oh, bitches, oh, women. It's like, hold up. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You ain't never had a piece of pussy before, man. Calm down, B. Like, shit. They just, oh, chicks, oh, hoes. It's like, man. I mean, even for myself, I remember being younger and a lot of older women would be attracted to me, and I never understood that shit. I'm like, why? Why are these older women attracted? But as I get older and I start to learn more about masculinity, I'm like, yo, maybe it was because I was kind of moving in more of that stoic energy. Like I wasn't, being super duper moved by, I guess, the feminine energy that may have been attracted to me or maybe came at me. But in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is I think that the guys that aren't, gung-ho about trying to smash as many women as they can is actually moving in a lot more secure place and even probably more secure in their masculinity, whether they know it or not. Like, I ain't know it when I was younger because of the shit I was experiencing, of course, but I think it's a solid point on it, and it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that right there. So it's something to think about, guys. It's really something to think about in terms of that. Don't allow yourself to be so moved by women and pussy, man. Because if you could be moved by that means you could be controlled by that. Don't be controlled by the pussy, man. Do not be controlled by vagina or anything. Anything. Don't allow anything to cause you to be able to move in such a way that you jump outside of yourself and your element and your level of control. And discipline in space. All right, I'm going to dig deep real quick into my man's comment real quick. Reginald, he said, I got married young, 21. I was able to avoid most mistakes. Hey, you're a wise man, bro. Did still spend too much on strippers back in the day. Okay, so you definitely had your moment. You had your fuckboy moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. It's just like women, women when they say women go through that whole phase, right? All men got that fuckboy phase, that fuckboy moment. I don't give a damn who you. I don't care if you the dude that was a late bloomer, right? And you ain't lose your virginity until you was like 18, right? A couple years after fucking, you gonna probably go through like that little fuckboy phase, right? Depending on who you are, and then you may get out of it or you may stay in it. It depends on the individual. You know what I'm saying? It depends on why you're fucking to begin with, other than trying to satisfy that sexual need. But yeah, man. Like I said, guys, don't and look. I know I know earlier I was saying that this is directed to the younger guys, right? It's not. It's not, man. There's a lot of older men that's moving in fuckboy tendencies too. I understand the want and the need for pussy. Men, my fellow kings, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with wanting vagina. There's nothing wrong with wanting to satisfy that need. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get that feminine attention. But listen, we want to have control over it. All of our emotions, all of our desires, all of these things. We don't ever want to allow stuff to move us and lead us. We want to be moving and leading it. We want to be able to look down into ourselves and look at that sexual desire and say, okay, I see you, I feel you. I'm in control of you. You listen to me. You do what I tell you to do. Okay? Right now ain't the good time to fulfill you right now. But it will be pretty eventually when the time is right. Like Tony said, think with your head, not with your dickhead. All right? So don't be no fuck boy, man. Like just, and then the other part about being a fuck boy where you just that guy that's just doing the most, or you that guy that everybody has a reason to talk about. Like you make a reason up every single time you come around the groups. Whether you trying to be the alpha male, because I think that's a fuck boy too. Like you were saying earlier, like just walking in there trying to walk all hard, like, yeah, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah, I'm the flexing your muscles and shit. And you see the biggest guy in there, and you go and you try him, like, hey, what's up, bitch? Like just, I'm sure Tony go through it all the time because he big,
You just described my whole damn life story right now, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a fuck boy, trying to be macho, trying to make a point. Like when this is the craziest thing that I go through in the gym. I gotta say this, and this is fuckboy energy to me. This is not a man moving in his masculinity. I don't view it that way. But when I'm going in the gym, when I'm doing my thing in the gym and I'm lifting weights, I'm killing it. I'm probably looking pretty decent. I'm looking pretty ripped. And then I get this guy that comes up. God damn, nah. Then I get this other guy to come up right beside me, right, and be doing the same movement as me, and like, and it's like, and I'm just kind of looking, and I'm like, bro, are you trying to make a fucking point or something? Like, yo, I'm not thinking about you, man. I'm in here thinking about, trying to do mind muscle connection right now. I'm trying to really focus on the squeeze. I ain't thinking about you, and you trying to come up and flex. And then you get these guys, like I hate when dudes do that in the gym. I hate that. Because it's like, yo, while you sitting here trying to prove a point, you could just come up and have a chat with me, man. I'll probably be able to give you some good gems real quick. I could probably school you or give you some, some tips on your form or like this, that, and the third. But no, you trying to make a point. Or like
it was that lacking, needing to prove something.
Yes. Facts. Damn. And it reminded me of this other guy, and after this I'm done. But like, it was this other guy where he was doing legs. You know what I'm saying? I seen him. Like he was doing legs the whole time, right? And, I'm doing shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So I was working on rear delts. Tell me why my man literally walks all the way, all the way from the freaking leg press machine and grabs some dumbbells, man, and start doing freaking rear delt flies right beside me, the same shit that I'm doing. And it's like, yo, you're not even doing rear delts. Like, why are you coming right beside me and doing that? It's one of those, it's a pet peeve for me. And I know some guys may not even be trying to do it. It may be subconscious fuckboyness. You know what I'm saying? But like, the shit is crazy, bro. It's some subconscious shit in their head. They can't help it. It's kind of like, that feminine energy when women do shit subconsciously, when they test you, when they do things subconsciously, it's subconscious. I don't think they can help it. But listen, guys, don't do that. Don't be a fuckboy. Don't do that type of shit, that type of energy. Because listen, real men don't like that. We don't that shit is irritating. It's not cool. For sure.
I came into the gym one time. I got some of those fuckboy stories about the gym. Here's a real quick one. They had these more skinny dudes. You know how they're trying to go with that soy boy look. I don't know, but they got their shirts off. Our gym is not really for that per se, but since it's a really quiet gym, kind of a hole in the wall type gym, freaking people do it. So anyway, they're over there. They got their shirts off doing little decline chests. Only got 25s on there, and I'm over here like, okay, they're doing them, whatever. I load up 315 to just warm up, and I do my few little presses, nice little deep stretch, think about the world. Okay, what else I gonna do today? Did I leave the stove on? No, I'm good. Oh, 315, and
subtle flex,
so, then after that, that's when they after that little bit right there, they put their shirts back on. I'm like, you already took the shirt off. That means you're at the peak point, right? And they still had a lot more to do, apparently. I'm like,
You made them feel uncomfortable, Tony, man. You made them feel uncomfortable. They're like, oh shit, this dude over here warming up with 315, and I'm struggling with. Them boys probably felt hurt, boy. They're like, damn.
Now, see, here's the subtle difference between the fuckboy energy. They're in there trying to prove something. So when they see a champion show up, they humble up, or they get insecure, start showing out more. Me, you walking in that stoic masculine energy, I'm just doing me. 315 for the stretch is nothing unusual to me. So me doing my normal thing just kind of screwed up their ego. I consider myself like an ego breaker in a lot of cases. And I said that when there's people out there bigger and stronger than me. When I look at people who are bigger and stronger than me, I look with a sense of admiration, and I may pick their brain a little bit rather than just sitting back. Oh, he thinks he's bigger than me. Maybe he fucking is just bigger than you. Maybe you got something to learn, or you could be comfortable in what you're doing and have that confidence. Hey, good on him. I still got my shit to do. Like a parent, I get compared to Ronnie Coleman at times at his peak. Hey, he's like, yeah, Ronnie Coleman's bigger and stronger than you. The only reason you have to remind me that prime Ronnie Coleman is bigger and stronger than me is because I'm bigger and stronger than you, little man.
Exactly. Because Ronnie Coleman was one of the greatest bodybuilders to live. So if they're comparing you to him, it's like they could have said much smaller people than Ronnie Coleman. That's pretty good and pretty great. So yeah, that's shit.
But you got to have that confidence and that stoic energy to be like, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I'm doing this to get these results to better me. Everybody else's opinion and bullshit, it's not to flaunt Billy Badass. It's just you got your purpose. You're walking in that masculinity, your purpose. Everyone else's opinion that doesn't reflect what you're actually doing, it don't matter. They're either gonna hate you, or they could give you some admiration. Hey, I appreciate the kudos, but I'm still moving. Somebody's like, man, he only bitches press 315 because he's so big and yada yada. Yeah, that's right. I'm still moving.
Yeah, I mean, and you're big because you've put the work in. Like, that's fuckboy energy too. I might start saying F-boy, man. I'm trying to slow down with cussing. I cuss a lot, man. I'm trying to chill out with that. It's such a habit. I stopped for a long time because at one point I got real religious at one point, and I stopped. And then once I started to kind of wake up more, and I'm like, okay, man, I think I'm overtly being religious now. I need to kind of calm down. I started cussing again. Next thing I know, it's like, boom, full blast. So, but F-boy, listen, that's another reason, guys, why you don't want to be an F-boy, because, or I think that's an F-boy tendency, like, to look at other men that may be bigger than you, better than you, and to feel envious or to feel less than. Guys, don't do that. Like Tony said, I've been this way for years as well. I can actually, resonate with you, Tony, on that. I've been like that for a while. It motivates me to see people better than me. It motivates me to see people that's greater than me, that look greater, stronger. Like even you, Tony, like when I seen you pushing that heavy weight, the first thing I thought in my mind was like, yo, if I focus on strength, one day I'll be able to squat that. One day I'll be able to get under that bench and bench that. That's the first thing that goes in my mind. And then it makes me admire the person, Makes me admire the person. Like when I seen you doing it, I'm like, man, I in my heart, I'm like, in my mind, I mean, I ain't getting sentimental or nothing. I said in my heart. But like in my mind, I'm like, yo, that he dope as hell. Like I admired that. That strength, man. And that's what we need to do as men, guys. We really need to don't hate, man. Congratulate. Participate. Shit, get one of these guys that's killing it or that's better than you. See what you can gain. See what gyms you can get. And if they're a real one, and if they've made that kind of progress, I guarantee you, they ain't gonna have no problem. They're gonna feel honored by you coming and asking them questions about, how can they improve in this given area. Because when you get successful, you make some type of success. I know for me, I love when somebody come up to me in the gym, cause I'm like, yo, you, me and you are alike. I used to do the same shit. I used to go up to guys that was bigger than me, stronger than me, too. So, guys, don't be a fuck boy. Don't look at these guys. Don't hate on them. Don't feel like you need to measure up, and don't try not to be envious, man. Just know that you could actually gain some gems for sure.
And I also like to do like this to some of the younger cats. Sometimes I go in the gym, I can see a person's physique, a man's physique, and I'm like, he's not there yet. So I just keep moving. I'm not going to discredit him, but whatever work he does, that's going to be on him. I'm somewhat got a gym buddy, somewhat mentoring him to a degree, and he's made some great improvements over this past year or so. And when we in the gym together, freaking, it's all about kudo points to him. Like, man, you grown so damn much. That's freaking awesome. So even me being just bigger and maybe just epically stronger than he'll ever be, maybe, I'm still congratulating on the work he's done. He started from ground zero and built himself up to this point. That progression and wanting to be part of that and doing the work. If you're on a higher pedestal, you see that little man doing that work. Hey, congratulate him. Keep him motivated.
Yes.
It's not about, oh, you never get at this level. You'll never get this. I'm like, nah, don't do that. He's trying. That's that work. You appreciate a man's work.
Yeah, man. Look into yourself. Like, to segue off what Tony's saying, look into yourself and remember when you were, not at where you are today. And remember how it felt for you. Think back to, the first couple of days when you started going in the gym and it felt uncomfortable. Because, that's some fuckboy energy right there, too, for the guys who have made some accomplishments or have made great progress in the gym or, with their physiques and everything like that. And then, looking down on other men, that's fuckboy energy, too. Like, don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Remember back when you first started. Remember when you went in the gym and you couldn't do shit or you felt uncomfortable in the gym. And be able to, sympathize for some of these fellas. Now, another thing I want to say to the guys who, they're trying to grow, they're trying to advance, they're trying to get better with their bodies. This is fuckboy energy too, right? If a guy comes up to you and approaches you, right, and you lifting and you doing a movement, and the guy comes up to you respectfully and says, hey, gives you a quick pointer real quick, like, hey man, you might want to, straighten your back out a bit and draw your shoulders and your scapula back when you do that movement. Don't be offended by that and don't, act snobbish towards the dude because they came and gave you some constructive criticism. Take that shit. If it's accurate and it's right and the guy seems to be being, very like, authentic with it, he ain't, talking down to you or demeaning or nothing like that, he's being respectful, yo, take that gym and be thankful. Help him, do it again and be like, yo, check me out again, man. Am I doing it right? Is my form looking good? Appreciate that because you can gain something from that. Now, I got a good story real quick I'm going to say real fast. So one guy, I seen him, right, in the gym. So he was pretty much on the cable, right? The seated, he was doing seated cable rows. And my man was doing the seated cable rows like this, right? And he was literally all the way back here, bro. I'm telling y'all see me, right? Y'all see how far I am, right? He was all the way back here. And he would come up and pull all the way back here and bringing it back. Then he came up, and he's doing seated rows like that. Coming up, wow. And my man was damn near almost parallel with the seat when he was pulling back with the cable seated rows, man. So I went up to him and I was like, now, first of all, guys, the reason why you don't want to do that, man, is for one, at that point, that's all lower back. You understand? Like if you going forward, you going all the way back damn near parallel, you damn near laying down on the seat. You pulling that cable, that cable row, seated row, that's lower back. You ain't even hitting your lats or anything as much anymore. So I went up to the guy, I said, listen, bro, I see you, man. You killing it. Because he was killing that shit. He was like he was going, he was like, rah, he was like, he was making the noise and everything. I'm like, damn, he killing it. So I went up to him, I was like, yo, I said, bro, man, I love your tenacity, man. I was like, yo, you killing this shit, man. I was like, look, man, you might not want to lean as far back. Like, cause you're not gonna really get as much activation in your lats, man. I was like, I seen you doing your thing, and I could tell you really, really serious about this shit. I was like, you might just want to sit up. And he kind of looked at me and he was like, bro, I know what I'm doing. He was like, I'm doing it because I want to hit my entire back. So I'm going all the way back. And he kind of said it with an attitude, right? So I'm like, all right, okay. And I walked off. Cause I'm not gonna argue with somebody. You know what I'm saying? I had to realize and learn too. Like, sometimes I need to just kind of chill and not even go out of my way and try to help nobody. Just let people do what they do at the end of the day, because that's their responsibility and they need to learn. That'd be me trying to fix people sometimes, and I had to accept that too. Like, you know what? Let me fall back. But the moral of what I'm saying is don't be like that. If somebody come up to you, they take time to kind of give you a little pointer, just take it. You know what I'm saying? Just take it. Tell them thank you. Appreciate that. And shit, if you feel intrigued, get more information from them. Because, that's if they being respectful, don't come at them with some negative energy, man. That's fuckboy energy. So, yeah.
On my terms of helping people, I've greatly diminished it because a lot of people have that fuckboy ego, and it's like you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. So if I do make that approach, I ask them, hey, may I ask you, what muscle group are you training? So I try to get in their head a little bit, see what they're trying to do. And then it's like, okay, if they're jacked up and going in a wrong direction or whatever, I would say, hey, try it this way, or try it this way, try this. I taught somebody how to do the kip maneuver going into shoulder press, instead of just dragging it all the way down from the bottom. So, and by the way, I was taught that by somebody who was stronger than me, so I'm paying it forward. So I'm teaching him that, and sit there and actually demonstrated it to him and the benefits of it, and coached him through the little motion. He took it and actually got better. So if somebody does come up to you with a idea of training differently, at least try it out and test its effectiveness. Now, you could have that dude who's just, I don't know, one of these high school chumps who finally did 20 push-ups in his day. Now he's a personal trainer all of a sudden. You could run into those chumps, and they're just coming at you with some BS. So give that little chance to put their stuff to the test. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Just like, thank you for your time, and just keep moving.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree with that. And also, if somebody come up to you and they're literally saying some inaccurate shit, now there ain't nothing wrong with it ain't nothing wrong with correcting them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing wrong with pretty much saying, hey, I appreciate you trying to kind of, school me, but this is actually the accurate information. Because I've even had that happen to me a couple times where I had some guys, try to kind of give me some pointers, and the shit that they was telling me wasn't right. And I'm like, okay, I see what this guy's trying to tell me about how I'm doing this deadlift. He actually was trying to tell me that he said, what was it? Yeah, he said you should sit more in your deadlift when you're in the squat position. And here's the thing. You can't, like, when you're especially when you're trying to tell somebody how to do the deadlift, everybody's skeletal structure is different, first and foremost. So everybody also has different levels of flexibility. Your limbs are different lengths. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's hips are skeletally different. So for one, it may not be comfortable to do that. So I already knew right off when he was trying to tell me that he really didn't fully know what he was talking about. So I told him, I was like, hey man, I was like, so I'm actually taller. So for me, it's not comfortable at all for me to squat that low before I pull. And I told him, I was like, you're shorter than me, so your skeletal frame, you can do that because your legs aren't as long as mine, and you actually have a bit of longer arms for your full, feet to arm ratio.
Okay.
And he thought about it. He was like, oh man, you know what? That makes sense. So if they're a real person, and if they're genuine about giving you some tips, but they may be a little incorrect, there ain't nothing wrong with just kind of telling them, like the right information. If they're respectable and if they are a solid man, they'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, oh, you know what? You're right. Appreciate that. So, and that's what he did.
Logic is king. Logic is king.
Facts. Yes, yes. Logic. And naturally, I think us as men, we naturally move logically, right? We just got to think when we think about the fuckboy energy, especially with trying to fuck as many women as you can, um, making that your sole purpose and your sole goal is, into fucking as many women as you can. Where's the logic in that? Like, where's the logic? What are you going to achieve in that? What's the outcome goal of that? Like after doing that for 15 years, what's the prize? Because see, when we're men and we're moving in logically, when we're doing things, we're looking to have a return on what we're doing. We're looking to have a return on our investment. That's logical. You're investing all this energy and busting all these nuts and fucking these bitches. It's a dreamland. It's a beautiful fantasy, but what are you gonna get in return for it?
Mm-hmm.
Probably negative shit. I'll tell you that right now. You was about to say something, Tony?
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with you. And another notion on that. When men should get out of the mindset of moving in feminine energy when it comes to their sexuality. We're kings. We are the providers and protectors, correct? So that's what you need to focus on, not how much pussy you get. It's about you being a man, being that provider, protector, at least trying to move in that light. That's why I try to tell the more Christian influence young bucks I come across, build your castle first. Build your castle first, because if you're going to be the traditional man, you deserve the traditional benefits. Maybe leave these random thoughts alone or minimize it to a degree, but that shouldn't be your goal until you build your castle. Now you can find your queen if you need to.
Facts. Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. All men, I think all men should have that mind frame. Even if you're not a believer in Christ or a Christian, just all men, y'all should have that. We should all have that type of mindset. But I really, really wish. I don't regret my life. I understand that all the things that I've done is leading me to the purpose. But at the same time, I sometimes I think, and I'm like, well, wow, what if I didn't do this? What if I would have did this? How would things be? And the best thing that I could say, guys, is, like he said, build your castle first. Build your kingdom. You see what I'm saying? Build your kingdom and get that situated first. If you try to get, the chick, if you try to get the wife and the queen and, have your family and all that first and then try to build the kingdom, it could be done, but it's going to come with a lot of issues. And a lot of the times, yes. And a lot of the times, when we move in that energy and when we do things like that right away, we usually do that because we have issues. I tell you right now, probably anywhere from 80 to 85, this is my statistics. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, serious statistics. This is my statistics. Men who usually have kids before they're 25, get married before they're 25, or don't get married but have multiple baby mothers before they're 25, have issues they need to deal with. And most of them do not have more than $20,000 saved. They don't own their own home. They going from job to job. They don't have any business that's established and making money. And guys, it's simply because we need to be handling and taking care of ourselves first before we go in that realm. And that would have been the biggest thing that I would have did. Right? That would have been the first thing I would have did had I thought differently. I would have started at 17. I would have been like, all right, bet I need to start getting my kingdom together now. I need to start figuring out a plan on how I'm going to get this money now. I need to start figuring out my, how to manage my money, learn about managing money, learn about financial literacy, learn and understand what it means to be financially free and well off. Because we could say whatever we want, guys, but financial independence and security is probably one of the most important things in life, man. It's one of the most. So
now, if you're going to move in sexual energy, you shouldn't do it to get pussy. Pussy is just a little treat on the side. What if you're going to use sexual energy? It should be used to get your money, i.e., being a porn star, a movie star, a model. See, you're focused on that sexual energy to make money. That's a better route to go if you're going to go sexual energy. But if
hold on, Tony. Hold on, wait, Tony. Hold on, wait. You gotta break that down, Tony. Hold on, you gotta break it down. So you saying that if they want to use if they have the sexual energy, you saying use that to get money. So pretty much get into the porn industry, like pretty much pimp themselves. Or what you say? What you said, Tony?
I'm not saying do it. I'm saying it is an option. Instead of just saying let's just say you want that straight up alpha bitch throw herself at you. Instead of just limit yourself right then and there, how can I use this energy to better myself as provider, protector, long term? Think about the long term thing. So if you do have that energy where freaking bitches throwing pussy at you and whatnot, or you get that attention, use it for your advantage. You could be a model. You can be a model. I got a buddy who is a male stripper. He's got all that energy and he's building something. He's got a wife. He's taking care of his son. He's got like 2, maybe 3 other properties. So it can be done that way. But that's more masculine, using that energy rather than just, I got the pussy, I'm done, and you ain't got nothing else to say.
I see what you're saying. Figuring out a way to correlate the sexual energy to making the money.
Mm-hmm.
I got a way to segue with that too. I actually learned this from a powerful book called Think and Grow Rich, right? By Napoleon Hill. You ever heard of that book, Tony?
I have not.
Yo, powerful book, man. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. A lot of people have read it. Powerful book. But one of the parts in the chapters in the book, pretty much he talks about sexual transmutation, right? And pretty much what sexual transmutation is literally using your sexual energy, building that energy up, allowing that energy to pretty much boost up. It's kind of like, honestly, it's kind of like semen retention to a sense and to a certain degree. But allowing that energy to build up and transmuting that energy into your businesses, into what it is that you want to achieve, into the main financial goal, into your ideas, you know what I'm saying? And using that energy for that. I thought that's where you was going when you were saying what you were saying. I was about to say, okay, Tony gonna really get deep on him. But that's another thing to think about too, guys. You know, you kind of withholding your seed. I'm not saying do it forever, but I'm just saying, like, if you really want to get focused and you really want to achieve some things, maybe you should just like don't even fuck for some time, and you know what they say. You know what they say, when you don't bust a nut for a while, you be strong as hell, right? I think that's a real thing. We're gonna do an episode on semen retention. So y'all look forward to that. I think there's some truth to that, because I can attest to that, right? But with that being said, you can transmute that energy into your businesses or into whatever it is you're trying to do, your work, your position at work. If you got a goal, if you want to climb up that ladder, that's your choice. I'd rather build my own business and make myself rich. But if you want to work for another company and be successful, that's on you. You can use that sexual energy and transmute that into your goals, right? And that's where I think, these are two things, what Tony said and what I'm saying. Instead of you just fucking all that energy off into busting nuts with as many women as you could smash, how about use that energy to build your kingdom first? Like, if I could turn back the hands of time, I'm about to build some R. Kelly shit. Well, if I could turn the hands of time, if I could turn back the hands of time, bro, man, I would have just fully focused on my ideas and the possible businesses I could have done and created. I would have said the hell with trying to mess with all these women. I would have said the hell with trying to fuck as many women as I can. I would have just put a lot of energy into starting and establishing some business first. You see what I'm saying? And getting that financial security first. So then, man, I can enjoy the women. Now my money good, my business is good. I got more options with even beautiful, greater, amazing women. Now I got options now, because I've solidified myself financially. That's what I wish I would have did. And that's what I encourage men to do at this point. It's nothing wrong with having a chick that you messing with or even having a girlfriend, at some of these younger ages. But, man, get your money right. Establish your security, man. Start at a young age. I wish I would have started when I was younger. I would already be rich. There's no doubt in my mind, yo. There's no doubt. I know why I'm not rich right now, and I know it's because I spent too many years being a fuckboy. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So Definitely something to think about. Yo, we got some comments over here. All right, New Fat Boy Fitness. He popped in. He said, "Salute, gentlemen. Salute to New Fat Boy Fitness, man."
Fat Boy Fitness. I kind of like that.
You know, he represent for the fat dudes. You know what I'm saying? We getting it. My man, oh, okay, here go my guy, Vanel. He said, checking it. Salute. Actually, you know, I'm going to go ahead and shout out his podcast right now. He got a podcast called My Success Ain't Random, y'all. Y'all go check out his podcast. Dope energy, cool guy, good guy, man. Definitely go check his stuff out for sure.
That's a strong title. My Success Ain't Random. You damn right. That's what's up.
For sure. He's a cool dude, man. And then we got new Fat Boy. He said all facts, pretty much talking about what we talking about, of course. Oh, and then look at this. I think we got we got Sharon back in the building. Remember Sharon from last episode from Australia? Yeah. How you doing, Sharon? Salute to you, Sharon. Glad to have you back on the podcast, and salute to everybody that's back. That's watching our episodes. I also been looking at the analytics. We've been getting downloads on these different stream platforms. Thank y'all so much, man, for downloading our episodes on these platforms. Also seeing shares. They're sharing the episodes. So it's awesome, man. Salute. We are on all streaming platforms. Thank y'all so much, man, for supporting us. We're going to keep this thing rolling. But yeah, that's what's up. Sharon came back. That's a good look, man. She said better than last week. Oh, salute. So I guess she's saying this episode is better than last week. Dope. Awesome. Well, we're glad to have all y'all, man, and we're going to keep digging deep on this. So, you know, with this whole fuckboy thing and the fuckery, the super fuckery, you know, like I said, and I guess we can go ahead and slide right into fuckboy past. All right, I think it's time for us to dig deep on, you know, if we had any fuckboy past, or we could talk about our fuckboy past, anything that, you know, that's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to incriminate ourselves or nothing on here, you know. But yeah, so we're gonna dig deep on our personal experiences. Man, Tony, I'm gonna let you go ahead and knock that out first, brother. Do you have a fuckboy past? Can you resonate with any of it, and what's your views on that?
I'm going to be honest and say not a lot. I'm not trying to put myself up on a pedestal, because I believe one of my key things to my mentality was a high sense of self-esteem. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. If I'm not, I'm not. It was no middle ground, hope and wishing. I was more straightforward. I have a very black and white mentality. But yes, we all go through some fuckboy shit where we are insecure about what the things we do. I was one of those nervous guys when I got invited to be in the football team and stuff like that. But I was like, man, how can I compare to these other guys? They already been training longer than me. I thought about it, but then once I got my hands dirty and started pumping that iron, it was like, oh, it was a done deal. It was a wrap at that point. And then, here I go. Outlifted one of the bigger heavyweights. I don't know. He did something retarded by trying to start off a lot heavier than what we were coached, and then I end up out bench pressing him in the strength meet. There's that. So there's that. Women, it was like the only fuckboyness I give myself is the fact that I gave a fuck about women early on. As I said before, my mother gave me my first little dose of red pills by being cautious around women, but I'm battling her little warning along with my hormones and what is going on in high school levels. So when I make my little moves on women, it was like I was doing it, making them a priority to a degree, but I guess the stoic energy I still had like in the reserve, when I saw myself given this attention and she's not giving any back, I basically walk away from the scenario. And one fuckboy story I have, now that I'm more fast forward a little bit, now that I'm more stoic, I have some experience, life experience under my belt. I'm outside the Marine Corps, in one of my gyms back in Myrtle Beach area. And here comes a fuckboy. So here it be acknowledging this energy coming from a young cat. He was this taller, leaner guy. And like I said earlier, he's one of the dudes who finally did 20 push-ups. Now he's a personal trainer trying to come at me with all that knowledge. When I'm literally out bench pressing you, out squatting you, out everything you, but you think you can tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'm not really trying to battle him on that, but it's kind of cute. It's adorable. So I'm just letting him talk, and then he's spotting me on the bench press, and I'm doing my thing, repping the 300, whatever, what the fuck pounds. And after he's done, he's like, you know what? I'm mad at you. He owns up and is like, I'm just mad at you. I can never be as strong as you. I'm like, I mean, you can still try. Then he wanted to say, he tried to do a little diversion thing. And I think this is F-boy energy, where you try to, you can't go head to head at somebody at their supposed greatness. You can't go head to head, but you got to talk about some other area. Well, at least I can do this. So he tried to actually flex his height on me because I'm 6 foot. He's like he's a taller dude, but it's like, okay, he tried to flex. It's like, well, at least I'm taller than you. You got to give me that. And I'm like, okay, so here I go. I'm hitting with the logic. I'm like, okay, you're taller than me. You're right. But the question is, did you earn it?
Wow. And
then of course, he was like, man, like, yeah, I know you got your little college degree and whatnot, but I know a little bit about a lot. You talking to experienced young man. Come on now.
Yeah, he tried to hit you with the okie doke, and then you hit him with the okie choke. Like you just came with the hook, like pow, because that's some real shit. You know, and that's the thing. Like if you're moving in that fuckboy energy, you're gonna set yourself up, and it's gonna bite you back in the ass. Like that's why I said just don't. We shouldn't move in it because it just bites us back in the ass. You know, he's sitting here trying to compare himself to you. And then it's funny, if it was verbatim what you just said, right? Where he was like, well, the least you can give me is, I'm tall. That means that he's pretty much saying like, yo, at least you could validate me in this area.
Right.
So that means he obviously felt insecure around you already. That happens a lot too. And, like I said, and I want to clarify this real quick too. Being a fuckboy and being a simp is two different things, right? Because they can kind of parallel with certain shit, but I'm gonna be honest. Like simps, they not most simps ain't really looking at pussy as just something to just smash and try to smash as many women as they can most of the time, But yeah, a lot of the times it do be insecure energy, and I guess what I was gonna say is a lot of people need to deal with issues. Need to deal with the insecurities, need to deal with, why they feel insecure to begin with. This is a real thing, man. And that's why I don't be wanting to really taunt people. Yeah, I mean, y'all heard me say it multiple times on this episode. Like, I have a fuckboy past. We about to dig deep into that. I'm about to dig deep into it. But like, I have a fuckboy past, so I'm not going to judge nobody or even taunt them because I understand. But it comes a time where we have to do something about it, and we got to start moving in a more stronger, better energy. It comes a time where we have to be aware of where we are and where we stand and where we want to be, and then we got to make a difference and we got to make a change concerning it. So obviously he was insecure, what I'm saying, especially for him to say something like that or to, feel like he needed to measure up to you or find something. Well, at least you could point out the fact that I'm tall. Like, bro.
I'm like, dude, you know how many women I hear do little jabs like that? They try to get that validation out of you. I mean, so I'm like, come on, man, that's some of that F-boy, little feminized energy. And he's also one of the guys squatting in the squat rack from rep 1. He's just grunting. I'm like, you only got 225 on there, bro. I mean, you think it's that hard? But that's my little ego trip. And when I see your weakness, it kind of makes me shine a little bit. I'm like, I see you. Good luck to you.
Keep trying.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, man, I feel you on that, man. But yeah, like, see, for me, with the fuckboy energy, yeah, I definitely have a fuckboy past. But I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Like, most of mine definitely did go in the women area, but it wasn't like rampant. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Like, I really ain't start kind of really smashing a lot more than the average amount of chicks until I hit like 19. You know what I'm saying? Until I got a bit older. But before that, I was dealing with different things. I didn't know it, but now that I know more about mental health and emotional health, I was dealing with depression. You know what I'm saying? I was in and out of depression, man, throughout all my adolescent years. So, that stuff really got in the way of a lot of things like sex, you know what I'm saying? Me approaching women, hollering at women. I'd be anxious a lot. I just was going through a lot of different feelings and emotions that I didn't understand. So, it got in the way of a lot. I'll tell you right now, if I wasn't depressed, I probably have about 8-9 babies right now. I'd probably be a father to about 9 kids right now. There's no doubt in my mind, so like, dealing with that depression, it did. I hate to say this in a weird way, but it did kind of like save me a little bit, because I truly believe if I was in a better state emotionally, I think I would have been smashing a lot more women, man. Especially when I was younger. Especially when I was younger. But once I started to somewhat heal, and actually I wasn't really healing, I was just using alcohol to medicate. That's when the fuckboy energy started to come into play. It was when I got introduced to alcohol, and when I started to realize, like, yo, this shit makes me confident as fuck. Like, this stuff really deals with my anxiety, and I feel like Superman right now. Like, I can get any woman, I could beat any dude up. Like, that was the relationship that I developed with alcohol. That was the type of energy and the type of relationship that I built with alcohol, and it was simply because of the issues I was dealing with, guys. That's why I said it earlier. The biggest thing I could tell a lot of men, especially younger guys, start dealing with your issues now. You wait until you later, you're gonna waste a lot of time, and you got to play catch up, like I'm doing right now. I'm playing catch up mentally, financially, emotionally, spiritually. Simply because I waited, or it took me a long time to realize what was going on. But anyway, alcohol was definitely that medication for me that I self-medicated myself with. So when I started drinking, man, it was almost as if, especially in the beginning, it was almost as if I ain't had no issues with my sex drive or nothing. It just, I knew all I had to do was drink, and I was good. So you're damn right. I was I was letting out a lot of aggression. I was smashing a lot of women. But I will say, amongst my guys, or amongst the people that the guys that I was around, the guys I would go out with to holler at women, I probably was smashing the lower amount of women. You know what I'm saying? Like, my God, man, my dudes they was tearing them up. You know what I'm saying? One day it's one chick, another day it's another chick. Same day, 2 different chicks. Mm-hmm. 3 different chicks, and that, I never really was that far into the fuckboyness, right? But pretty much, from when I did and when I was doing my thing, yeah, man, I was putting a lot of attention into women. I was trying to smash, however many I could smash, and it just brought a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It brought a lot of negative energy. It brought a lot of mad chicks, or women, acting all types of different ways, and just shit that you don't want. And then on top of that, I ended up getting my ex-girlfriend pregnant, man, when we was young. She was 19. I was 22, I believe. I wasn't ready for no kid, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready for that. So that's one of the biggest things about being a fuck boy. You put yourself in a position that you're not ready for. That's why you don't want to be a fuck boy, because you will put yourself in a position that you ain't ready for. Let's go to my younger guys, a responsibility that you might think you mature enough and ready to handle, but when it hit the fan, no. Unless you got solid parents that have guided you, and you grew up in a solid household, and you got your head together mentally and emotionally, and you know how to manage yourself in your life. If you ain't got that, you ain't ready, man. So yeah, man, pretty much just me being a fuckboy in the past, it just caused me to do a lot of things. It caused me to get into crazy fights. When I was flexing my alpha, or when I was trying to be the alpha. I beat up 2 dudes at one time, because I'm gonna say the quick story real quick. And I even got a video on this channel where no, I didn't talk about that fight. I talked about a different fight on that video. But pretty much, I picked my mom up. She was at the bar. I know I'm going in, y'all, but I'm gonna give it to y'all. She was at the bar. And I had my ex-girlfriend, with me in this, that, and the third. She was in the back. So we was already drunk, because we was going to go out anyway after I picked my mom up and dropped her off. And we stop at a stoplight, and these 2 white dudes walk up to the car. My mom's sitting in the passenger side. and they just kind of lean. The dude leaning in the car. He like, hey man, do you know where such and such is at? I was like, nah, man, we don't know where that's at, man. Get out the car. He was like, man, you know where the fuck such and such is at? Right in my mom's face, bro. So before that, I already told my ex, I was like, yo, if anybody do anything I don't like today, I'm fucking him up. There's no words, there's no talking or nothing. I am fucking him up on sight. Like that was the energy I was already in before that happened. So I pretty much attracted that shit. So then it was a wrap, man. I just hopped out the car, went up to dude, hit him with one punch, bong, knocked him out, went to his other friend, hit him with a 2-piece, bom, bom, boom. They on the floor. Other guy coming up, he grabbed me out of my mom said I just picked dude up and just threw his ass like the other dude. It pretty much, it just got crazy. Blood and shit on the floor, like just crazy, bro. And all of that is fuckboy energy, right? Because thankfully God protected me, but that could have put me, I could have got locked up for a long time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I could have been gone. That's straight assault, and it was at the Charlotte, the transit center. So that's like federal grounds. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it just could have got crazy for me. I'm telling y'all, man. Listen, don't move in fuckboy energy because it'll put you in a position where you literally, it just bites you in the ass later as you get older. It bites you in your ass. But you know, flexing, fighting, all that. But yeah, what's up?
Now, as for violence, in my little background, because I'm a bigger dude, I learned this long term. Because I'm a bigger dude and we're dealing with a feminized world, a lot of insecure men, we just over here butting heads for no good reason. Have a lot of conflicts like that. This one dude and I dealt with, now unfortunately this wasn't another black guy, so it's a lot of that stereotype energy coming from him. I know I'm the Uncle Tom type, whatever. But anyway, he wanted to go with me to the gym, but he always asked me how long I'm going to be there. I'm like, I'm there usually till the gym closes because he does a lot of short stuff, whatever. So I go to his dorm. Hey, you ready to go yet? He asked me again, how long are you going to go? Man, how many times I got to tell you this? Shoot, I'm there until we about done. So if you're using me as a ride, you're going to have to wait for me, or you could walk your happy ass down the street, one or the other. He wants to then he starts bucking at me, and I'm like, you know what? I need to walk away. I'm trying to walk away. So I get up, and then he starts talking as if he won this little encounter when I proved that he was being an idiot. He's like, yeah, man. Yeah. And then I just turned around. I grabbed the door handle. I'm walking out the door. I'm like, fuck no. And then I turn around. I jack his ass up into that little bathroom area. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm just pissed at him. Just fuck up. And then I take him down to the floor. His roommates jump on me like, dude, calm down, calm down. And I'm like, I'm just like thinking, smash him. I'm thinking smash, but I let go, and this motherfucker still wants to talk like he won that encounter. Did you not see me just lift your ass off your feet, up on that damn sink and to the floor, and you're still talking as if you won this encounter? So
Hell no.
I had to learn that I was, because me being younger, I was the person to make that first move. I had to learn. A lot of people try to provoke you into those scenarios. Some person just talking shit, and some people do it to just poke you to make you the bad guy. I think the term now is called gaslighting. Because as soon as you start standing up for yourself, oh, you're the bad guy. Oh, what are you doing? Okay, big guy. And I'm like, you were the one running your mouth to begin with. So I had to learn to you got to brush motherfuckers like that off and just get your distance. Because like you said, it opens the door for all that fuck shit, because you're the one making that first move, and you're the violent one, you're the assaulter, you're going to get in trouble. And a lot of people try to lead you into that just so they can throw that at you. So you got to be careful. You can't let that anger, that natural male, I got a threat at me. You got to see, is it really a threat? Is he putting his hands on you? Is he threatening your money? You got to hold that back and just walk away. Sure, if you do that choice, I've been called this before because I'm learning this as I go. You've been called a bitch. You've been called a pussy. You'll be called all that. A lot of people like to say I'm the biggest bitch in the Marine Corps because I'm not a violent motherfucker. I want to be left the hell alone. But it's amazing how a lot of people are not willing to flip that coin with me too. That's as big guy as I want to get. That's as tough guy as I want to get on that. But
Yeah.
you gotta control your emotions and realize that a lot of these motherfuckers ain't worth dealing with. Don't be out there trying to prove nothing to anybody. Just stay stoic as much as possible. Stay stoic. Walk in that masculine energy. Get your shit done and get those results.
Facts, man. Total facts, bro. I totally agree with that. Cause like, honestly, it's just not worth it. And me fucking them dudes up. I was drunk, so that's another thing when it comes to this fuckboy term. Cause I'm gonna start adding my own definition to this shit. Like, yo, if you drinking and you getting drunk, if you can't control your liquor, that's some fuckboy shit. All right. I haven't drinking anything since 2014, so I'm going on 7 years. Actually, no, I'm going on 8 years since I drank anything, man. Appreciate you, man. Glory to God. I had to stop because it started becoming like a tool. Like I started to really realize, yo, this really is like a medication for me. And I seen myself going into the alcoholic, phase. So I'm like, yo, I got to stop this. That's a part of us being men and being masculine. It's like understanding what's controlling you, understanding what's hindering you, understand what your vices are. Because if you have vices, it's something that can reveal your true weaknesses that you need to be working on and healing. As men, having vices.
Identify the problem, you can identify the solution.
Exactly. And yeah, I remember you said that when on Instagram, and that was a powerful statement. So powerful, man. You know what I'm saying? You identify it. You identify that problem, you can identify the solution. And that puts you in such a powerful place as a man, and that's how we're meant to be as men, as people, women can practice this as well too. But yeah, like, figure out your vices and figure out the things that seem to have control over you, whether it's, porn, like you just feel like you gotta watch porn all the time, or if it's alcohol, or if it's weed, or if it's shrooms, or if it's some type of drug, or if it's sex, or if it's, the strip club, or if it's fast food. Like, as men, we gotta pay attention to these things that we tend to do so much and feel like we don't have any control of ourselves, because that's where our true freedom is, believe it or not. Like Tony said, your solution is in the problem. That's some real shit. Once you can start to figure out your problems, then you could dig deep and you could be like, okay, well, where does this shit actually come from? Where did it originate from? What started this? Why is this my vice? Why do I do this? Why do I go to this so much? And guess what you'll end up unraveling, and guess what you'll end up finding out? You'll end up figuring out that this shit stems from something that happened to you when you probably was like 9 years old. You'll probably realize that the only reason why you're doing what you're doing now is because you made this belief, this negative belief, accurate when it wasn't accurate. You made this immature notion that you came up with accurate, but it wasn't accurate. It just seemed accurate to you because you were only 9. So the biggest thing that I could say, guys, if you don't want to be a fuckboy, right? Start digging deep within yourself. And I talk about this a lot. Start digging deep within yourself and start really paying attention to your issues, your vices, the things that you feel have some type of control over you. Because listen, we can't be king. That's not king shit, yo. That's not king shit. And I had to learn that for myself because I've definitely been there and done it. I've definitely had vices. I've definitely, anything you could think of, man. I've been there. Porn addiction, all that. Like, so it's just something to think about, guys. If you want to get rid of that fuckboy energy, these are some of the things to think about. Get your money right. Get your shit situated. Build strong relationships. It's a lot, man. For sure. But yeah. So, but with that, man, and with the fuckboy past, man, I'm telling you, most men usually go through that, and most men usually experience that, and it's a normal thing. I don't want y'all to feel down or low or anything, man. A kid is gonna be immature. It reminds me of my daughters, you know what I'm saying? And it reminds me of me and my wife. She's around my daughters way more than me, so I'm sure they get on her nerves way more than they get on my nerves. But sometimes I gotta remember, I gotta remind her, and she gotta remind herself, they're kids. They're children, so they're gonna be immature. They're gonna do immature shit. They're gonna say immature stuff because they're kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's normal, guys, to be on some fuckboy shit, especially if you're younger. But look, you 25, yo. If you're 25, it's time to get on. It's time to get on your shit. It's time to cut that shit out. I wish. Man, it would have been awesome for me if I would have. I wish I could have started at 20. You know what I'm saying? I'd be rich right now. There's no doubt. What you think about that, Tony?
25 is definitely my personal cutoff date for any kind of immaturity, especially for me. It's like, it's like I'll give you up to that wiggle room. Freaking, you're a kid, you're just a young adult, you're trying to learn what it is to be an adult. But 25, as soon as that birthday hit, all that childish stuff, you need to not take it with you. It's just a done deal. Like I even tell some dudes in relationships, once you're 25, you may be in a relationship right now, but understand what the game is after that point. Sex and resources. It's a tug of war between men at that point. You can't go into, let's just say you're over 25, the relationship fails. You cannot go back into that childish mindset of the romance. You have to acknowledge what it is and move smarter, because a lot of these women will just go ahead and take advantage of that gullibility. The gold digger thought I was just one of those other guys. Oh no, here comes some vitamin P. I need to, move in that energy and just be that guy to do whatever for it. No, I got standards. I can see your little red flags. I'm just going to play defensive. It aggravated her. She couldn't keep up her little chameleon act. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm still me because I still got my path to move on.
Hell yeah, you still got your money too, so you ain't got to worry about trying to get that. But hell yeah, man. And also with the sex, I gotta say this on this episode. I wish I would have learned this. But guys, once you get to a place where you start to really get comfortable sexually, right? It ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We men. It's good to be comfortable sexually as men. We want to be, right? The biggest thing that I say is step away from this societal standard when it comes to men and experiencing sex. Like you hear people say, oh man, if you with a chick, man, and you ain't getting it 2 times a week, then oh man, you in a fucked up position or blah blah blah, right? Stop. And I had to do this too, guys. I had to do this because I started to realize that I was connecting my value as a man to how much ass I'm getting or how much me and my wife having sex. And I had to realize, I'm like, yo, that has nothing to do with me as a man or my value. A lot of us men need to take a break with sex. And here's the thing. Here's the reason why. Because for one, I hate to say this, I hate to put women on blast, but women like to use that as a tool sometimes, man. Women like to use their pussy as a tool. All right. You might not even realize it. You may not even be aware of the shit. But if you're going through different gaps with sex with your wife and you wonder like, what the fuck is going on? Women will use that shit as a tool sometimes. So you got to pay attention to that. But I'm not speaking down on if you having sex a lot with your wife or your girl or whatever the case is. All I'm trying to say is if you're not, don't view yourself like, oh man, I must not be enough, or don't correlate that to you as a man and your value as a man. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you'll probably be able to focus and get more shit done if you ain't worried about sex so much. That's the main point I'm trying to push out with sex. I love sex, all right? I'm a sexual man. I enjoy fucking, all right? So for me to be saying this, totally funny. So for me to be saying this, y'all know I'm keeping a being with y'all, man. Sex should not be priority. It shouldn't. I had to learn this shit. I had to learn it because I was putting so much thought into sex. I'm like, all right, well, me and my wife, we should be doing it at least this amount of times a week, or we need to be doing. Man, fuck that. Is my business bringing in, the amount of money that we need as a family? Like, am I hitting goals that I need to be hitting? Am I achieving shit? Am I really fully doing my role as a man in this situation? Because guess what? That shit is priority. Fuck all the other shit. As men and as kings, and this is something that I'm learning and I'm accepting, guys. Like, it took me a while to learn this shit, but I really wasn't focusing on my role as a man, and it pulled me back. It pulled me back, man. And now I'm playing catch up, man. Years after the fact. So the biggest thing I'm saying, guys, is look, don't put so much value on sex. Don't put so much value on you even busting a nut with your woman or with a woman. It's good, but it's sex. Get your life together. Build your kingdom up. That's the goal. Make sure that you got your shit together as a man and be good at that. Validate yourself in that area. Let that be your validation. Like, oh, I created this business and it's doing this. Oh, my wife ain't even got to work anymore because now I got this here. Oh, I can build this home now and I can actually invest in this investment real estate property and make more money with this. Focus on that shit and let that be your validation, bro. Guys, kings.
Results
that can bless you and your family.
Sex is a trivial little pastime for the most part, and then you could bring kids into it if you're ready for that. You got that foundation for them kids to come forth, and men need to focus on that more than women. Women, I'm going to go ahead and say this: marriage and the kids, they know they automatically win going down that road. The question is, if you a man, if you want to go, are you prepared to go down that road? So you have to lay off, stop thinking with your dick so damn much about getting it wet, having that fun time when you're not ready for those full blown consequences. And you got deep, sir, in your thank you. You got deep in a lot of your stuff there. I'm going to go ahead and tell it's not really a secret, but when people ask me directly, I have no problem telling it. I'm still a virgin, to be honest.
Oh, for real?
Yes, sir. I'm still a virgin, mostly because it's one part. Yeah, I know, a fat knuckle. Y'all take that hit there. You okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my daughter came in for a second, but I'm listening.
Okay. So one part that another part is because I wasn't overly simpish when when she started not giving me the attention. I was willing to back away because I knew I didn't make her the highest priority. And then number three, I do get the peer pressure every now and then. Even now, I'm 34 years old and still get peer pressure from other fuckboys who prioritize getting that vitamin P. And they're like, you got to do this. I'm like, why? I dare ask that question. Why? I'm really familiar with our modern times. There really is no need for a male to go down that road if he doesn't want to. So why should I feel less of a man just because a woman hasn't, properly presented herself? I'm not going to play the numbers game. Okay, there's 10 women. I got to take a shot. One of them is going to fuck me, probably. And if I do that 1 out of 10 rule, I'm not going to play that immature fuckboy numbers game trying to freaking get women, wasting all that time, that money, that energy, focusing on that when I could be just like, you know what, it's whatever. Yeah, I took that. I think we all said it when we come into a dry spell of sex where it'll happen, will it happen? I'm not saying that just to protect my ego, just because I'm having a dry spell of sex. I'm saying that that's what it is. It will happen when it will happen. I went straight forward with that mindset and focus on other things.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I commend you. I salute you, bro, because that's a powerful thing that a lot of men can't say and don't have, right? The fact that you haven't went in that direction yet, it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing, and I like I said, I salute you on that, bro. Like, there's look, whoever hating on that, that's on them. But that's something that'll always be sacred for you, and that'll always be your power. And once you do meet that chick and that woman, or once you do get to that place, it's gonna be powerful. Because guess what? You might mess around and find another virgin, bro. And that'll be amazing right there. Now y'all get to share that. I mean, wow.
We shall see.
Yeah.
But it's like the idea is not being persuaded, not being led by pussy, and also not being forced into it. I even get the pressure from women. But oddly enough, the women who try to pressure me aren't never the ones offering up their vitamin P. Kind of weird how that works, right?
What?
It's weird.
So these chicks that's trying to push this down your throat, they ain't even offering the pussy? They're not looking to have sex?
Oh, you gotta try. You gotta do this. I'm like, well, you seem pretty available. Oops, sorry about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you seem pretty available. Okay, I'm not saying I'm a player, but every now and then I do my little persuasion. I'm like this one female coworker, and coworkers are taboo, mind you, so don't go 100% down this path. She was feeling a little, we get that little flirtation thing going on. I'm like, ooh, I like it when you walk away. She's like, Tony, you stop. I'm like, hey, just playing around.
Yeah.
And then basically I was like, hey, when we get off and whatnot, you can come over. We can have some pizza, some extra sausage, maybe some stuffed crust. I was doing all those in the windows. She knew what time it was. But for
Hey.
some reason, she didn't want to take up on that offer. Whatever. I put the ball in her court. I made the offer, and that's all I can do. Because I'm not going to try to force you. I'm not going to bend over backwards, make myself like an idiot trying to freaking get up in your panties. You know I'm interested. It's on the table. It is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, yeah, it is what it is, bro. Like, shoot, if it's on the table, if it's gonna pop, it's gonna pop. But I like I said, man, I just I commend everybody who walks their own path and who feels uh, content in that. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I admire, man, about you, man. I appreciate you for expressing that because a lot of men need to hear that. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that are virgins too that may deal with that. May deal with the pressure, may deal with people coming at them or judging them in different ways because of it. But it's like, in all actuality, if anything, it shows that you have a power that a lot of us don't have, and that's being able to withstand and withhold. And then can't no woman use that against you.
Oh, they get
She,
they get they get pissed.
I'm sure they do. They be tight. I know they be tight.
I'm not saying they're pissed as in, oh, how come he's just not falling for me? It's the idea that that's all you have to offer, and I see everything else behind that. I see the full price tag, and
Mm.
I'm basically playing real defensive to it, and it's like, why is it not working? Why is it not working? Well, oh well. But then gaslighting. I'm the bad guy. I must have problem with. I must hate women. I have a bad relationship with my mama. All that shit comes up just to accept the fact maybe you ain't worth my time.
Mm. So these conversations. So I'm assuming that these types of conversations happen like and probably like outside of home, like outside of like a home or like an intimate area, right? Like these conversations you have with these chicks, like this is usually happening like
It's
like somewhere else.
it comes part of the time where women are doing their little shit testing, especially when I'm the new meat on the scene.
Mm.
They already got the attention from the other males. Here comes a new guy. Okay, where's he at? Let me get inside his head, ask him those certain questions that gives them certain information about you. Trying to do
Yeah.
other little homework. This one female tried to cheat playing that game, and the example of this, man, pay attention, is where I brought some food with me that my aunt did prepare for me. So she made this food for me because it had a more, I guess, a feminine touch. Me, I just cooked the meat, put it in the bowl, and roll on.
Yeah.
And the other little female who already thought, "Oh, I hate women," she's looking at it and she's like, "Did a girl make that for you?" I was like, "Yeah, my aunt did." But the question, the fact that a girl had to do it, is her trying to read to see how compliant or submissive I am to the promise of pussy. No, I am not interested in that carrot you're dangling in front of me. The promise of pussy will lead me down a terrible path. Adam and Eve. I'm not going to do it.
Mm. Got you. Well, look, that's powerful, man. And like I said, I salute you on that, man. And ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. I'm glad that you're a part of this podcast, and we can also have that type of perspective as well because it'll help men understand. You know what I'm saying? It'll help. It gives us more diversity in terms of perspective in our podcast. So that's dope, bro. I'm that was dope. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm very happy for you, bro. Um. All right, now but I'm gonna tell you right now, you might not want to like link up with me or hang out or nothing like that, because I'm probably gonna try to get you some ass, bro. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I'm going to pretend I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. I know dudes be like, yo, we gonna get you some ass tonight. Like, but nah, I wouldn't do that to you, man. I'm a respectable guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I definitely try to emit the energy that I would want to receive. So I wouldn't do that, bro. Because I'm sure in the future we probably will link up, and like I wouldn't do that, man. I respect where you are, dog. You know what I'm saying? So all right. So we got some comments. So okay, my man's back Vanell. He said, my success ain't random. Fellow kings, I love you. Yo, salute to you. bro, fellow king. Much love and respect, bro. Big salute. Simply Deep 1985 said Black Superman. Sup, Black Superman in the chat. What's going on, man? Let's see. He said, what's the topic for today, gentlemen? Yeah, it's on the title, bro. Don't be a fuckboy. All you gotta do is read the topic, the title, bro. It's big as hell. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a fuckboy. Let's see. He says, oh, does Tony Magnum have a channel? Do you got a channel, Tony? You got a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube channel. It's by the same name, Tony Magnum. But if you're interested in just hearing from me every now and then and just seeing my gym aspects, follow me on Instagram, Tony-Magnum 0. There's another one called Tony Magnum 3887. It got shadow banned. I hit too much truth apparently. But Tony Magnum 0. Look for that one.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put up your Instagram for them too, man, so they can follow you, dog. Tony Magnum 0. Tony _Magnum _0. Yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna put his Instagram up, man, so y'all can follow him, bro. The co-host, man, to the Virility Kings podcast, man. And we will be having a third host, guys, coming. Brian, our recent co-host, man, he got a lot going on right now, which is understandable. Which is cool, but we're gonna have another guy hop on the scene, man, and dig deep with us on this for sure. All right, there goes Instagram, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to fill that in for sure. But yeah, with the more the comments, okay, yeah, he was just asking about that. Oh, okay, and then Sharon said, good on Tony. When you're ready, you will find the right one for you. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. It's a fact. Yeah, man. But that's dope. That was. Huh?
Funny statement on that. I've been saying, I've been hearing that since I was 16. So I basically moved on this pattern. If there is a right one out there for me, she got hit by a bus and I just have to move on.
Don't say that, man. There's so many women in this world, bro. Like, I'm telling you, man. Sometimes I gotta remind myself that, multiple times in my life, of how many women there are in the world. I know you went to you was in the Marines. Did you go overseas at all or no?
Yes, I've been to Japan. I've also been to Afghanistan, or part of the MU. Afghanistan was the last part. Djibouti, Africa, and what was the other place? Kuwait.
Djibouti, that's the real name?
Yes, Djibouti, Africa.
I thought you was being funny. Dang. That shows my level of geography. But yeah, that's what's up, man. But yeah, like, shoot, you've been around the world, man, and it's a lot of women, man. But to each his own, bro. We all
funny story on that. When I was in Japan, they had this place called the PX, the Navy one. Okay, so for my military people out there, you know what that is—the exchange, where you just little store basically. Okay, I went ahead. Since we touched down, I went ahead and bought me some condoms. So. Because rather have it than not need it than need and not have it. So even though I'm low balling myself every day, you never know. So during that little PX run, I got me about 2 packs of condoms just in case. And the female there happened to do this little slick move. She asked about the rib type. I got those, and she was like, asking this other person, hey, what do these rib ones do? And I'm like, what are you doing? She don't got to know about all that. But then she did. All of a sudden, when she got the answer back from the other female, she lit that little slide eye at me.
Yeah, you know what that was about.
Okay. But thank you, ma'am. Let me bring this up, and I gotta go.
Yeah, women make it known, man. I'm telling you, women. That's one thing about women, man. For the most part, especially if they don't know you, if you get around the women that's willing to be vocal or verbal or expressive, they're gonna let it be known. Whether they choosing, man. And real quick, that's something that I used to experience a lot of, and I did not know what the fuck was going on. Right? Have you ever heard about choosing signals and like women doing choosing signals subconsciously?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yo, so I just learned about that. I want to say probably about 2 years ago. And like when I was learning about it, I'm like, damn, all these women was clearly giving me choosing signals, and I didn't have a clue what it was or what the hell was going on. But the funny thing is yo, a lot of it is subconscious, right? So like they may do it and they are not even aware that they're doing it. And then when you approach them, they might kind of look at you like, yo, what are you doing? Like why are you trying to talk to me or trying to holler at me, right? That shit is funny. And I see it happen all the time. So once I became aware of that, I started paying attention to women when they got around me or when they interacted around me. And man, I would catch so many chicks just kind of doing these looks, or I'll look at a chick and she'll kind of be looking kind of, you know how like when somebody sees somebody that's sexy to them, they be like, oh my God, like that. I'm catching these bitches. Oh, I don't mean to call them bitches, but I'm catching these women doing this. Catching these women doing this, yo, mid like look, and I'm like, yo, and then they try to play it off. I'm like, wow, this shit is real for real. This choosing shit is real. Or like women in the gym, they'll come right beside you, and then they'll start just doing some fucking dumbbell lunges and shit, and like, or like not dumbbell lunges, like some dumbbell stiff-legged deadlifts, right? You know, right beside you, bending all the way over and shit. And I'm like, yo,
I see what you doing. One of my boys was hanging out with this female who calls herself a feminist, and yeah, you feminist and shit, but you doing all those stretches right there in front of the men's exit of the locker room.
exactly, exactly.
I got
But
my little sneak peeks in there, but I see what you're doing. My boy, he was like, we're over here, we're acknowledging her little factor in there. He hooked up with her and whatnot. And what did he say? Man's got to eat.
hey, man's got to eat. I totally agree with that.
Ooh,
yeah,
man.
you know, them women, and that's the thing. Them feminist women, that's the attention they're gonna get. But you know, but anyway, you know, this was about fuckboys, man. And honestly, man, we definitely dig deep on this one. This was definitely a good episode. I think we definitely covered, you know, a lot of good reasons why you shouldn't be a fuckboy, or why, you know, don't be a fuckboy. Simply because it's just not productive. It's not going to lead you into building your kingdom the way that you want to build it. It's not you're not moving like a king in that sense. You might feel like it, you might think it because you're like, oh, I got all these bitches, so I'm a king. I can have whatever women I want. But in all actuality, that's not moving like a wise king. That's the best way I could put it. You know, we look back in history, we look back in a lot of times in the past of history, you have good kings, you got great kings, you have just kings, and then you got evil kings, you got corrupt kings, you got kings who, shoot, even King Solomon at one point was pretty much led by the pussy because, you know, he had so many women and so many wives. I mean, King Solomon was marrying women all over the world. Like, I think the Bible says he had like 700 or something wives and concubines. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, what happened is those women led him to serve other gods. So the point that I'm trying to make, guys, even, you know, that's dated and supposedly one of the wisest men to ever live, one of the richest men to ever live, and he was a king, was led by the pussy. You understand? And led to even serve another god or serve other gods. Think about that, guys. Don't do that. Don't allow the pussy to lead you away from your purpose and why you alive. You understand? That's the biggest point I'm trying to make.
Another example on that same energy, in the Islamic faith, what they go out here and strap themselves up to be suicide bombers for the promise of those 70 some odd virgins.
And that's the deepest thing. That's the deepest thing about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that I ain't gonna lie, that threw me off with that religion. Like, so you guys, that's what you guys are looking forward to. You're looking forward to having all these 700 something virgins in heaven. That's your heaven. You know what I'm saying? Not criticizing anybody's belief or anything. I think there's also different sects. There's different sects of Islam. You know what I'm saying? There's different sects. So, you know, with some different beliefs and doctrines. But that sect specifically that be on that type of stuff, it's like, yo, that's crazy. So that's the afterlife that you're looking forward to have all these virgins. You know what I'm saying? That's paradise to you.
And then look at the tragedy you have to bring upon yourself at the very least in order to get it, because you're leading by the promise of this.
Yeah,
it's just something to think about.
It's a real thing, man, and like I said, man, it's definitely powerful, man, for sure. I don't know if you got the message that I sent you, Tony, but I pretty much was telling you about the next episode that what we're gonna be talking about.
I dig it.
Cool. Guys, look, I want y'all to definitely look forward to that, man, because it's pretty much gonna be about, financial, pretty much financial security, financial recovery, just digging deep into different things and different tips and even experiences. Definitely gonna dig into mine. I'm sure Tony got a lot of experiences in terms of money and finances too. I think it'd be a good podcast for us guys because as men, we definitely, I'm telling y'all, man, money ain't everything, but it's definitely important. It is definitely important. It is a resource for us to be able to build the kingdom that we want, that we need. And most importantly, we can serve and help other people with money. You understand? We can do good and just things with money. So money ain't everything, but it's damn for sure important. Sex ain't everything, but it's damn for sure important. That's how we even exist right now. Yeah, keep that in mind too. With that being said, guys, listen, this was a powerful episode. Yo, Tony, man, you got anything you want to say, man, before we close this episode out?
To not be an F boy, don't do things that are going to fulfill your ego. Do things that actually have a tangible result. Don't let our male instinct, our male design to endure, don't endure for just a small little this and that, a small scrap. No, endure because you're going to get a long-term benefit. Suffer those consequences rather than just, oh, this is easy, this is playful, but you got nothing to show for it. So be willing to work and sacrifice those pleasures to build that long-term benefit. That's what it's about. Those short-term pleasures, they're distractions. When it comes to women, easy money, stuff like that, distractions. Folk, don't be ashamed or afraid to walk that long trail to get those better results. Long term.
Facts. Powerful, man. Powerful point, man. Definitely powerful. Yeah, guys, and I totally agree with that. Guys, listen, it's not worth it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on getting your shit together. Like I said, and I'm gonna say it again. If I would have got on my stuff when I was, say, my early 20s, or say even 18 or like early 20s, I'd be in such a better position right now. Now I'm playing catch up. Now I'm having to do a lot of things, that I should have been doing when I was in my earlier 20s. So something to think about, y'all. Listen, like every time, every episode, every ending of the episode, I always say this, guys. Every man is a king of his own world. Listen, embrace your masculinity. Embrace it. Embrace that masculinity and build your kingdom, man. Until next time, brothers. Salute.